What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. How you guys feeling? Hopefully everybody's good. We're going to be speaking on the Sagittarius for this reading. Let's see what we got for you guys, for my Sagittarius out there. See what it's for the Sagittarius family. What message do we have for the Sagittarius? So the first one we have for the Sagittarius is release control, right? Don't allow things to, get the best out of you. I saw this video. It was like an episode in like Rick and Morty where, your boy was like, the older guy, right? The guy that like be taking him around. I think it's Rick. I'm not sure. But he was just like, it was like this little episode, this little clip that went around on like YouTube Shorts where he was like, once you realize that nothing matters, the universe is yours. And I just wanted to take that. I just took the first part of it. I actually downloaded the video. I think it was pretty cool because like I feel like, we need that reminder sometimes, right? And I feel like once we stop trying to control everything that comes in our, because with how everything going with society, we have everything at our fingertips, so we can often get carried away with wanting to have control of our lives, right? Some situations is best to leave it in the higher power's hands than if we had control. You know what I mean? I was also reading a book, which I read back to front every time I have time in between the editing of these videos because it's a spiritual book, and it mentions in the book that our arrogant minds, at some point think as to say, if we was to be given the chance to run the world better than God, sometimes we would think that we can run the world better than God can. Or in a smaller aspect, to say that we can control our lives or we can make better decisions than God can make in our lives. And that sounds kind of crazy, right? When you think about the higher power, the one that created you, that you can make a better decision for yourself than he can. So when you go through these moments in your life and these situations, understand that everybody has a chapter, everybody has a guideline, everybody has the system, this life that they're got to go through to obtain the things that they have to obtain. So when the higher power is putting you through these things, it's not to teach you a lesson, it's not to dawn you, it's all for strengthening. It's all to better you. It's all to even use you to be able to help others as well, right? Sometimes you go through things to help others. You know what I mean? It's just us being used in a light form way. We don't understand it. We might never understand it. Excuse me. We might never understand it, but it's all a part of the goal and the process of the universe. So allow things to happen. Release control. Release that tension. Release wanting to control everything that you become a part of, right? All right, what else we have for the Sagittarius? All right, so the next one we have is, what do you need? This could be a question from the spirit team regarding action. Like, look, if there's anything, sorry, I know the mic's right here. That's why I'm apologizing first and foremost for any sneezes, things like that. I hope it's not irritating you guys' ears. This could be a message from the spirit team. What do you need? So this is regarding anything that you like, anything, as long as it's something appropriate towards the higher power, you already know what it is, right? As long as it's appropriate, such as things like asking for help, assistance, financial help, resources, relationship help, love life, whatever the case is, don't be afraid to ask for it. You know what I mean? They want to ask you, what do you need? Like, this is a question from the spirit team. You put that pride aside. If you have it, get on your knees and pray. You know what I mean? Pray to whoever you believe in. Pray to him. Like, I don't know what name you guys call him. I'm referred to it. I refer to him as God, but you guys might, your language or your situation might view it as something different. However, it's all the same concept. You are praying to who you believe in for the things that you need and the things that you are asking to provide for you. So if there's something you need, don't be afraid to ask. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid to ask for assistance. He is the maker. He is above all. Ask for the help, right? Ask and you shall receive. It might not be in your time that you want, but it's in the time that you need. Believe that. So the next one we have is, God never dies, therefore I cannot die. It's so funny that, because I was just thinking of something. That me and my wife walked into a small boutique store, right? With like bathing suits and stuff, because it's still summertime, sort of, right? And in this boutique she was very heavily with representing God and everything, right? or the higher power. Let's just say higher power, because I know a lot of you guys refer to them as different names. I'm not judging the religion. They're all the same thing as long as you believe in what your spirits believe. As long as you believe in greatness and humanity and all these principles, we're on the same page. Now, listen. We was having a discussion how, like, you know, the higher power or spirituality is very watered down these days, or people's, you know, they don't believe no more. You know, everybody's, not everybody, but some people are still stuck in this mindset. But those are these people, like I was one of them. You know what I mean? I believed, but I didn't believe that miracles for real could really happen. Like I always used to, like, before like a year ago, I always let things play out, but I never really made a commitment or made a jump or made a leap of faith until my wife got me on the game of making a leap of faith and trying different things, you know. And that's why I bring that attention to you, because I feel like each one teach one. Everybody has information to share with each other. So a year ago, I wasn't really one to take real life chances like that until I really got with her, and then she really shared me. You know what I mean? So I just want to give you guys that information, because you guys might need to hear that. Yes, I believed in God, and I was thankful for everything that happened to me, but I was scared to. At one point, not scared, but I had to have a backup plan. I had to have this. I had to have that. And sometimes things ain't gonna be that way. Sometimes things might seem uncertain, but that's probably the best time for you to make that leap of faith, because you just never knew, right? You never knew until you tried. And as I said, we walked into the boutique, and she had God up, and, you know, it was very, very, very out there, you know, because they don't necessarily want you. When I say they, I'm talking about the people in the dark light. They don't want you to speak about spirituality, because that's what strengthens us. That is the faith. That is faith, basically. It's faith and belief that you can make it out of scenarios. So when you're climbing that mountain of life and your legs are broken and you have nothing else to give, and you believe that the higher power is going to take you further, and you take each step away, towards the top, you make your chances more and more possible every time you have faith and every time you take that step until you reach that top. And the people in the dark light typically don't want you to have control of your lives. They don't want you to be able to do these things, because if you did that, they wouldn't be in power. You know what I mean? So just keep that in mind. Now, the people in the dark light are humans just like me and you, but they like that attention, they like that power, and they say that you should not honor no man more than the one above. So if you're honoring your boss and your manager and this person more than you're honoring the higher power, something's not right there. You know what I mean? And your life will continue to be uncomfortable until you start to realize that. So we're gonna read this card off to you guys. God never dies, therefore I cannot die. We're talking with the soul here, right? A symbol of God's unimpressed and perpetual existence of the human spirit. The human spirit. When people are laid to rest, or people, their bodies, let me tell you guys something. When somebody gets murdered, or somebody gets killed, or they die in a car accident or something, that is because their organs fail to abstain that threat, that puncture wound, that heart attack, whatever the case is. Their organs have failed them. Their spirit, however, is still lingering. That is why we're in a flesh. We're borrowing this body. This body doesn't last forever, but our souls do. You know what I mean? So your soul is your dignity and who you are as a person. This glob of meat that we're just in, we're just renting it. You know what I mean? So what I want to say that is because focus on your souls, right? Focus on, as I said, focus on living through spirit. You know, if you're doing things you don't want to do, you know what I mean? Your spirit's telling you no. Every day you're waking up, you're hitting that snooze button. Is it really worth that lifestyle that you have obtained and you're willing to continue to obtain for the thing that you have to do to obtain it? Which means if you're working a specific career choice, it don't matter who you work for, it don't matter where you work. You could be working for yourself. You could be a self-employed person and you're doing something you typically don't want to do. But you say, well, I pay as well. I do this for 8 hours. It pays extremely well. I'm not passionate about it, but it pays well. And I understand that some things you don't have to initially be passionate about. Sometimes you get good at something and you become passionate about it. That's two different things. I'm speaking on people that's got good at something that's still not passionate about it, that still does not want to continue it. It doesn't make sense doing something you do not want to do, because in a sense, it's like you're forcing yourself. You are a slavery to yourself. You're now a slavery to your own commitment. And then what you're doing, you're committing yourself to this thing because you feel like the lifestyle that comes with it. More money means more cars, more clothes, more whatever you idolize. But you got to continue to work for it, and you got to continue to slave yourself so you're not happy. You're never going to be happy. You're never going to be fully happy. You're always going to have those spike moments and enjoy that car and that clothes and them, that whatever you buy with it, that money, but it's not going to make you happy overall. You're still hating what you do for most of your time. 50% of your time is spent working. What's the point of doing it if you're going to dislike it? You're better off just being fully, you know what I'm saying? Just because what if the world was to blow up everything? What if we could no longer produce any cars, clothes, all that? Would your job that you do, would it matter anymore? If it couldn't produce finances if they produced finances, but the finances that you was gaining, you couldn't purchase the things that you want anymore, would that matter? Like, really ask yourself that. So now that it wouldn't matter, let's go ahead and let's see what we can do to make a difference. You can exceed financial freedom by doing the things you love to do. All you have to do is find ways and avenues out. Yes, as you can see with the with social media, let me say this. In these days and age, with the population going up, higher demand for things go up. You know what I mean? Real estate goes up and everything. However, we have internet. The internet has taken over a lot of jobs. You can use the internet to broadcast your ideas. You can even use it for promotion purposes. If you don't want to necessarily be on the internet, you can use it for promotion purposes. You can hire a team. You know, you can be involved in a career or a journey that you truly desire, and you would do this for 16 hours and wouldn't even sweat a tear. Sometimes this does feel like work. Like right here, I enjoy talking to you guys stuff, but it's still work. You know what I mean? But it's something that I'm passionate about, and it's something that I don't feel like is a waste of time, even if not I was getting paid. That's when you find your true passion and you find your true journey. When you can do it regardless if you get that paycheck. Yes, you want to make sure you're financially stable. However, when you're talking longevity career choices, you want to watch out for that. I know I ramble, and this, whatever I just said, probably didn't even pertain to this card, but it does in a sense. It's not directly, but read between the lines of what I say. It's very broad. You don't even have to read between the lines. It's very broad. What I'm saying is follow your spiritual being, right? So yeah, keep that in mind for my Sagittarius, right? I get real deep when I talk about these things, because I really feel like a lot of people got to hear this, right? And look, the next card is you live, or what does it say? Yeah, you live in abundance, right? Abundance can come your way if you think it can. Look, what was the last one? Ask them, what do you need? If you need financial freedom, or you wanna out, or you want a way, ask, request, pray for it. Next step, how can you change the lifestyle? Make sure you're not hanging around people that are negative. If you know this person's going to gossip to you about this person, why are you with them? Why are you hanging around them? If you know every time you hang around this person's out there doing nonsense, why you engaging yourself even in a conversation? It's not going to better yourself. You're better off just sitting in a dark room by yourself. I promise you are. I promise you. You're always going to be better off being by yourself. And I'm not saying you have to be by yourself, but if you're going to be around people, or you're going to hang around people that, even though you're not involved in that thing that they're doing, but you're kind of co-ownership, because you're not against it, but you're not for it. But you're like, you know what I mean? You're not agreeing with it, you're not into it, but you're also not against it, because if you was against it, you'll be away from people. So what I'm just trying to show you guys is when it comes down to abundance and joy and all of that, we gotta distance ourselves. I know it hurts, because sometimes it might be your family. You gotta distance yourself if you really want to understand true abundance and true happiness and true joy. You gotta make sure you're not allowing nobody to get in the way of your happiness. You know what I mean? Yeah, sometimes, we are in the wrong sometimes too as well. We can't, exclude ourselves as well. We have to learn our own mistakes as well. But moving forward, what I want you guys to do is what I do for myself is I reflect on my situation that I did wrong as well, and I just try to make it better. I just try to see how I can, replace those bad habits with them good habits, things like that. So just keep that in mind. But you live in abundance. Abundance is you. You are abundantly. We just have to find the key to unlock it. And that key is just being consistent. Being consistent. Throwing away, like I tell you guys, you're better off sitting in a dark room. It's kind of like a chill day versus, it's kind of like, for an example, avoiding Let me tell you guys, avoiding trouble is just as good as making moves. If you avoid nonsense by, let's say, I'm going to give you guys an example. You don't have to follow this. You don't have to do this. What I'm just saying is, you're more likely to get into a situation because, okay, think about like a bar, right? A bar sells alcohol. People are intoxicated. I'm not saying bars are messed up or whatever. I'm just saying the reality is people are intoxicated. They're going to say things that they truly mean, but if they wasn't intoxicated, they would think it through and say, maybe this is not the best time to say this. However, they're intoxicated, so they're going to say whatever that's on their chest. People are more, they're their realest self when they're under the influence because they don't have that blockage to stop them from saying what they want to say. Kind of like if you're not drinking, right? So if you go to a bar every day, you're more than likely to get into an altercation than if you was to go every Friday or once a week. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying that, hey, don't go hang around these people at all or don't get into things at all, but moving smart, trying your best to avoid. And when you feel like you're about to go hang around certain people or about to leave the house, pray. You know what I mean? Keep God first. God first before everything else. You know what I mean? God first before your relationship, for real. Because He's the reason why y'all two together. So you got to look at every situation. Even your mama, even your daddy, God first before them two. If what you're involving yourself in isn't serving the higher power and isn't serving what you feel like will get you into the heaven gates, why are you entertaining it? You're better off sitting in a dark room by yourself. You're better off turning on that television and having a chill day and chill out than to get yourself caught up in something that could take you down. Because there's people serving life right now in prison. And if they would have just stayed home that day, that day that something told them in their brain to stay home, they would be free right now. All it takes is one little episode. So take you guys' freedom with grace. And take your lives with grace. And realize that, wait, if I can avoid it, I will avoid it. But you live in abundance. Remember that. So next one we have is get curious. I was walking around a furniture store, right? And I'm starting to look at everything more so. Not just looking at things for what it is, but looking at things for what it could be as well. Like I'll be looking up in the ceilings, I'll be checking out I'm a guy, so I'll go check out the branches, how they put it together, the bolts, all of that good stuff. And as I'm walking around, I'm looking at this book. And I'm reading this book, or I couldn't really read it because it was just a bunch of patterns. But I'm starting to pick up on that curiosity. Not in a bad way where you're just doing anything and everything and trying every and any drug. I'm not speaking on curiosity in that form of way. I'm speaking on a more of a way that can educate you. Picking up books, and getting curious for what people's really trying to say. Like okay, I used to have this bad habit where somebody would ask me, somebody would say, hey, how you doing? Like, they'll speak to me and I'll speak back and they'll say, how you doing? And I'll say, great. And then I'll ask them how they doing. But before they even respond, I'll say, that's nice. Or right after, my response is, that's nice. But I try to now be actually courteous and listen to what they potentially could say, because it might lead to a conversation. And that conversation, even though I'm going to be cautious on what I repeat to them or what I say back to them, because I heard some thumping. Because you don't know what that could potentially be like. You don't know people's true intentions, so you want to be careful what you say to them. But on the same time, you can keep the conversation brief and general. Well, not brief, but general. Hey, what's your favorite color type of vibe, right? Then maybe they might slip up and say something that's so valuable. Like I was having a conversation with one of my older personnels back in the day, and he told me this. He said before it was pretty much my stepdad's stepdad type of thing, right? And he told me to be on time is to be early. Now, I have no business communicating with him because he's like 3 times my age. However, I try to talk to older people or talk to people in general because you never know who may have information that can share with you. Now, you don't have to tell people all your business, but somebody can give you a little quote or a little wisdom. Take that to heed and put that into perspective. And hey, for you guys that are still watching this video to this time, you're getting some real gems. So hopefully you guys take this and put it towards yourself. It took me years to establish who I am today. So y'all getting it within 20 minutes or 25. I don't know how long this video is going to be. But like I said, regarding this little wisdom I'm going to give to you guys. He told me to be on time is to be early, right? And I have a quote. I don't know if I said my quote on the YouTube shorts. I forgot. But anyway, to be on time is to be early. I used this when I got my first job. Like I was showing up. Let's say I make 6 o'clock, 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. or not 5 a.m. but like 6 a.m. or anytime, right? I would show up 30 minutes, 15 minutes prior at least. You know what I mean? And yeah, that might have been an inconvenience personally to me because I had to wake up a little early or whatever, or get out the house a little earlier. But it shared my business personnel, like my boss or whatever, that, I'm serious about this position. And why I do talk down or why I do not recommend working for a company, because I realized, like, you can achieve way more. Like, if you have the opportunity, instead of sitting at home and just chilling, you can go out and venture off and see how you can create something and start it up. Yeah, it's going to take some trial and errors and fails and this and that. And you might not get your finances and resources that you require, but if you don't think about that and you just think about helping people and providing value, you can make it. Back to what I was saying with the quote. That shared me, like, a little bit of wisdom, just having conversations. You know what I mean? But getting curious in that formal way. Make sure you're getting curious on a positive note. Man, you know what's crazy? I love the fact that everything starts to come after like 15 minutes, because it's really showing who genuinely wants to learn some information. Or not even that, but it's really showing spiritually who I'm supposed to be telling this to. Because if this, y'all should hear that playing. You're taking off. But yeah, if for me, it's not really about the impact my YouTube channel has regarding how its growth, but more so me helping individually. So if the messages right now, if you're still watching this and you're listening, the messages is for you. You know what I mean? So, I'm thankful and I'm grateful that you was able to view this video this long, right? So I know it's pretty long, right? It won't take up too much of your time, but then again, Spirit doesn't really have a time limit or a time frame. Find your way home is your next message, right? I want to say this, right? You're going to go through situations all day, all year, all centuries, all your life, right? But you're going to find your way home. You're going to find your way home, right? There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. When I say home, I'm talking about where you're supposed to be. Your home is a sanctuary. Let's speak on the word home. If you have an apartment or you have a house or you have any establishment that you call your home, that you lay your head at, you know what they say, don't sell dope where you lay your head at? Let's talk about street terminology. It's the same situation with real life, period. You don't bring trouble to where you lay your head at. Your home is your sanctuary. Let's just speak on a home for an example. Make sure you guys are not bringing toxic people around you. I don't care if this is your friend. If this friend is out here robbing people or stealing people, he ain't to be trusted. And even they themselves know they shouldn't be trusted. Back in the day when I was a little youngin' and I was going and stealing stores and stuff, people they ain't rock with me and I ain't rock with myself. And I knew, you feel me? But when you learn and you grow and you evolve from stuff, you learn and you get better. You know what I mean? You understand what's right or wrong. What's right is do this, and what's wrong is wrong. What's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. So when it comes down to it, you're going to find your way. Like I said, make sure you guys are not bringing that energy to your house. Make sure, because let me tell you something. There is no loyalty amongst, conniving people. That's just what it is. Like, that's just how it is. It's just like that, right? But as I said, moving forward, once you forgive yourself for all the things that you do, I don't have no shame on what I done in the past, because I wouldn't be here telling you guys what it is, right, and what it ain't. Now, when you go venture off, and as you guys know, you get lost sometimes. You guys ever been to a big city or something and you get lost? But you know what the funny thing about getting lost? You end up learning your way back fast. Like, you end up, once you find your way home, you would never forget, because you know where not to go. And that's funny how life works. They teach you where not to go, right? You know what street not to walk on. It's the same way with him, or finding your way back home, or finding yourself. Once you go through these processes where you do things you typically are not supposed to do and you get spankings for it, life gives you spankings, if you know what I mean, you end up finding out what not to do in life. Going forward, okay, this is what I have to do. I'm going to make sure I get it done. And then you're able to move a lot more smarter, a lot more efficient in life. And then you find yourself. When I say him is your sanctuary, I'm talking about yourself. Him as in You lose yourself, you find yourself. So you're always going to find yourself, no matter even in situations that you felt like you lost yourself. So just keep that in mind. Hopefully what I said related. I'm not really trying to be as like basic on this channel. I'm really trying to dive deep and give y'all numerous because I know everybody's different, right? Just like if you go in school, everybody learns differently. Some people are hands-on, some people are verbal learners, some people are, listeners, so it's more about, for me, listening, I think it is verbal and hands-on, right? We can keep it at that. Or some people read and they get it straight out the book. As I said, I'm trying to give different variations, so if it does take a little bit of time, just bear with it. Trust me, it's all worth it. Everything I'm saying is facts I use on a day-to-day basis. I've gone from working produce department where I was able to cover 8 locations. I've done this, and I'm probably saying it here first, but like I've never really told y'all this, but I've done it. I was a junior therapist, didn't go to school for it, but I volunteered and I shared my commitment, and I got people to vouch for that. But we ain't getting to that deep. This is the internet. You feel me? We ain't gonna go all of that. All I'm trying to show you guys, and I've served my country. You feel me? Let's just put it like this, right? I've served any regiment. It's a small regiment where I'm from. Let's just put it like this. I've done what I needed to do, and I'm a married man, all of that. So I can speak on a lot of things. So you're not gonna, whatever I say on this channel, you're not gonna be led astray. I promise you, you're not. Take the information, because I'm getting information from resources that I feel like, has helped me. And when I say help me, is meaning I feel more happier. I'm a more positive individual. I feel a lot better about myself when I go out and I do my thing, or you know what I'm saying. I go out, I have fun, I enjoy life. So I get information, I bundle it up, I read, I do all that just to, let's see if I can. Well, I better my life first, right? Focus on myself first. I focus on myself, I better my life. Then it's like, okay, now I can project that within 30 minutes of let's say 24 hours of my day. I stuff that into 30 minutes or an hour on this video to give you guys some good information, right? So we have Fern, and the reason why I read cards this way is because I just feel comfortable, and I take a card and I speak it to you guys, let you guys know what's going on, right? So we have Fern. Fern is your next message for my Sagittarius. Named after the fern, a hardy plant which is known to grow under difficult climate conditions. Sometimes we just tell you guys, but yeah. Excuse me, I apologize for these sound effects. But yeah, like I said, anything that I say on this channel, anything that I provide, any message I provide for you guys, any messages, they're not going to steer you astray. I promise you, I'm not on here fabricating nothing. I'm giving y'all these straight facts. Fern, right? This is a plant known to grow under tough climate conditions. If you guys don't know what a fern is, you never seen one, you can search it up in Google, or better yet, I'll give you another example. A cactus. Cactus as well grows on the heat, right? In fact, a cactus is known to store water for when it gets hot. Same way for you guys. When I want you guys to do is, make sure y'all stacking up on your water and getting hydrated. Make sure that y'all getting prepared for rainy days and situations that could lead to things being dried up, right? Because it's not the fact that they can't provide water when it's a hurricane or something major happens and the stores get shut down. It's not that they can't provide water. It's that it's so much people that need it at one time that they don't have enough resource to provide that much water or food at that moment. So if you have your house stocked up, if everybody has their things stocked up with at least 6 months of water, bro, water's cheap, bro. Go ahead and just stack your water. Before you buy that designer, go stack your water. Stack it to the top. Once you do that, 6 months. We're doing that now. You feel me? I had a scrum memory with the hurricane. Boom. You feel me? We wasn't prepared as much as we wanted to be. Now we ain't playing. 6 months. Easy. Stack with water. Y'all too, man. Go get 6 months of food, canned goods, all that. 6 months straight. That way, if the stores close, realistically, they're only probably going to close because they have to open back up because people got to eat, right? Probably only going to close for like a month or whatever. I wouldn't even say a month. I'd say probably about 2 weeks if damage is that bad. But if y'all stack it for 6 months, you ain't got to worry about that. Survival state, for survival state, yeah, the electricity might go out for months. Something major happens, but you could survive for some water. You know what I mean? Water is the main necessity that your body needs. Like I said, tough climate conditions. You're going to be the person that's going to grow under tough climate condition. It doesn't necessarily mean maintain it. It doesn't just mean maintaining what you have. It means growing. Spiritual growth, financial growth, whatever you call it, that's growth. You're going to be growing in that. If you follow the things that I'm speaking on, because like I said, I'm not just speaking things just to speak them. I'm not just like this is, let me tell you guys something else, right? To run a YouTube channel, it takes discipline. See, a lot of people could show up to work. I've seen it. I've showed up to work and bust my tail. And I've seen people that are getting paid by the hour, and I was getting paid by the hour too. Getting paid by the hour, and you know what they do? They're going to the break room and they'll chill. And they'll think they're cheating the system, but they're cheating themselves because on the broad aspect, the manager looks at them like they're lazy because they don't see the work ethic being done. But they feel like they're cheating the system, but they're cheating themselves. You know what I mean? So when you have to run a YouTube channel, it does. Reason why you see a lot of people that are in certain situations or certain fields or certain industries, reason why you see them getting lazy is because they're not really committed like how they say they are. You know what I mean? Like on this YouTube channel, y'all gonna see this commitment. I'm not got an everyday schedule or nothing like that. I used to, but I don't do that no more because the whole point of being YouTube is to be free, having freedom. So I have a discipline, but I also enjoy life. So when you guys see me speaking how I talk and, you know, the verbal communication is there, y'all heard you feel me? You can hear it clear as day. So what I'm saying is I have to educate myself. I have to. If I don't, I would have a little motivation to do these videos. I'm not going to be learning nothing. I'm going to be repetitively teaching y'all the same thing. And y'all going to hear new information. Like I give you guys new scoops and new things. So it's clear as day that I'm educating myself while I'm not on these videos. Right? This video is going to be wrapped up real soon. Don't you worry, right? As you guys can see, because it's already pre-recorded. So y'all going to already know. But listen. Check this out. This is the last one we got for you guys. Battle with time. Things happen better with time. I can look back when I was 14. I'm 22 today. That is 8 years. Right? That's 8 years. So, 8 years ago, when I was 14, I kind of started to let time play out. It really happened when I was 18, though. You know what I mean? When me and my parents wasn't, you know, me and my mother and my stepfather wasn't, me and my parents in the household wasn't getting along. And I'll say this on a public platform because if I'm a spiritual being, if I'm proclaimed to help you guys spiritually heal, how can I do that if I don't have any real advice? So yes, I, you know, moved in with my grandmother at, you know, 18. I know what it's like to, you know, not have a loving relationship with your parents, you know what I'm saying? And moving forward, I had to see where I was wrong. But I also have to, like I said, keep my distance and all of that. Keep the peace, you know what I mean? So, but things do get better with time, right? No matter the situations, you learn more, you grow more, you engage more. You might have lost a loved one, you know, things do get better. If you guys, with loved ones, if you guys are in a relationship, best tip I can give you guys is make sure that you guys are focusing on if the person's happy and not focusing on just yourself. That's why I say, you wanna, okay, so when you're living life, you wanna improve yourself. When you improve yourself, you typically don't be as selfish as if you don't improve yourself because a lot of people can't love because they don't love themselves, right? I know, hear me out, right? A lot of people don't love nobody because they can't love themselves. They can't love nobody else because they don't have love for themselves, right? They don't commit proper self-care to themselves, nothing, right? So they typically show bare love to people. And I want to show you guys, like, you gotta be able to love yourself first. I love myself, so I can love my wife just as dearly as I love myself. So moving forward, that's what I want you guys to do. Focus on self-love, focus on building yourself and things like that. And everything will get better. Things do get better with time. Speaking of relationships, like I said, if you guys are in this predicament where you lost a love and things like that, you gotta have that connection with each other to know that, hey, as long as you're happy, I'm happy type of vibe. Because if you lost a lover, you need to have that conversation before you hopefully. Okay, this is what I can say. If y'all love was genuine, they will want you to move on. You know what I mean? Make sure you guys are not, if you're not as, like, old or way up old in that age where if you don't want to move on, then so be it. But if you guys are, young and something just happened, and give it time. Like, don't be disrespectful. Give it time. But don't be afraid to move on and to, you know what I mean, to be happy. Not move on like just switch relations, but just be happy. You know what I mean? It hurts me to see when people lose a lover and they feel like that's it for them, and they feel like, because it's tough. You get scared. You don't want to love nobody. So I don't know why I'm tempted to say that to you guys, but always remember, when you're in a relationship, the goal is for the other person to be happy, not for them to make you happy. But you're gonna make them happy in the process, but making sure that their happiness is the most important thing. Your happiness comes first, of course, but secondly is their happiness. Not them themselves, but are they happy? Because if they're happy with going for somebody else, then you just have to accept that. You can't, this controlling thing has got to stop. That's some toxic stuff right there. Trust me. Let it go. You know what I mean? And if they pass over, God forbid, but we got to have that reality standpoint to say, look, as long as they're happy, I'm happy. You know how to move on, you know how to move on from it. But everything gets better with time. Even relationships, friendships, death, life, birth, death, all of that stuff gets better with time. The problems, the relationships, all that, solutions, all of that. So better with time. Allow time to play out. Take your time with life. It's not a race. Trust me, everybody's going to pass over. There's no point in rushing it, right? Thank you guys so much for tuning in this reading. Oh my gosh, if you guys made it past 36... Now, this ain't my longest video, but so recently it has been. But I know it's a very, very, very good one. And I know if you're watching this years later, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. God be willing, I'm still around. I'd love to give y'all a big like if y'all leave on this, comment section. God be willing, I'm still around when y'all do that, right? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like this video, share this video if you have anybody that needs to hear this message. I know it's long, but it's informal, and it's going to get you through a lot of tough times, I promise you. Also, subscribe if you're new. You know what I mean? Why not hit that subscribe button, post notification to let you know exactly when I drop a video. That should be the bell, the time of this recording, to the right of the subscribe, as it says, the bottom. Not going to hold you guys no further. The reading is pretty much complete. Thank you guys so much for the Sagittarius messages and things like that you guys share. Really appreciate the love, the support, all of that. I will see you guys on the next spiritual video.